Everybody, welcome to Hen Chicks Studio. We are so glad to have you here, and I'm just going to show you this so you can see. So you there. We're just having so much fun here at Hen Chicks Studio, and we're glad to have you joining us this morning, wherever it is that you might be joining us from. And of course, we love to know where you're from. So by all means, let me know you're here in the comments. Good morning to everybody. And I hope it's sunny someplace because it's kind of dreary and cold in Iowa. We're looking forward to the day that we do not have to turn the heater on in the bathroom. That's our goal right now, is can it get warm enough so we don't have to turn that on. But welcome. This is Hen Chicks Studio. We're in Conrad, Iowa, and we're glad to have you here this morning for this live. You know, we love to switch it up, and today's is going to be very different than what we did last week, and next week is going to be very different also. And I'll tell you right now that next week it will not be at 9 a.m. I honestly can't tell you what time of the day it's going to be. It will be later in the day. But that morning, I will be speaking at the Rural Iowa Summit on behalf of small business owners who are in rural communities. And I think it's a great opportunity for our voices to be heard. And Jamie will be gone, so we're not going to do live at 9 next week. It will be later on Wednesday. But as always, I will text about an hour before so that you have warning that we're going live. So if you aren't on our text messages, be sure to get on those. And you can certainly call us, say, hey, I want to make sure I'm on the text messaging list and stuff. All right, and good morning, Marla from Missouri. Love, love, love having you with us this morning. Okay, a few reminders so that we don't forget anything. The Sunday Best Quilt Sew-Along deadline is fast approaching on April 13th. We already have multiple people who have submitted their quilts. Those quilts at the moment are posted as of the other day. I don't know that, like, if somebody posted or submitted it yesterday, it's not posted yet. But there's at least a half a dozen that have been submitted, and they are already on the website. So if you go to henandchickstudio.com/Sunday Best Sew Along with a hyphen in between those words, you're going to find all of those samples, some beautiful, beautiful ones. And we know the deadline can be met. I love it that Lori, despite the fact that she had a new grandbaby to cuddle up, was able to still get her even larger than needed Dayflower done. So it's the Dayflower project. Mine is quilted and bound. I'm not showing it to you this morning. We'll show it to you again as we get going, but in the Marlis collection, it's beautiful. But anyway, April 13th. So I guess if you feel really, really ambitious, you could try to get it done before April 13th. Okay, next, last week we revealed several things last week. We announced that we have a brand new t-shirt that is coming out. Love it. I'm calling it Flower Power. I love the kind of 70s look that we're seeing so much in garments. And so this is our new Flower Power t-shirt. It's going to have multiple colors on a very natural colored t-shirt. It's unisex sizing. It's not women's sizing. So if you've purchased t-shirts from us before, most likely the size you got before is going to work. I'm pre-ordering to make sure that we absolutely get the number of t-shirts that you need. We'll, of course, order some extra. So if you don't pre-order and come on in and want to try one on, we hopefully will still have your size available. So certainly got all of that. And good morning, Annette from Arkansas. And we've got Janice from Minnesota. And yes, Janice, it is very windy today. Very, very windy. Okay, and another reminder, another reveal we did last week was that we're having a mocktail and appetizer event on Wednesday, April 26th, right here at the store. It is our town's girls' night out. So there's going to be all sorts of fun things going on from 4 o'clock on that evening in many of the businesses. We're doing mocktails and appetizers. We're going to have some special guests, more about that in the next couple of weeks. But we would love to have an RSVP so that we know how many of you and your friends are coming to make sure that we have enough mocktails and appetizers for you. And this event is free. So it is, it certainly is not something that you have to worry about paying for. We want to treat you and give you a taste of, I'm going to say, the newest trend these days that's going with all the different kinds of mocktails. So there is, if you go to henandchicksstudio.com/mocktails, you're going to also find the RSVP and everything there, but would love to see your smiling face right here in Conrad on April 26th at 4 o'clock. All right. And and Sean from Ohio. All right, we've got lots of different states this morning. I love it. I love it. Okay, so I've given you some of those, I'll say, housekeeping kinds of things. But let's get to what today is about. Today is all about journaling. And we have an exclusive product from the Whole Country Caboodle that is our Joy Journal. And I am so excited about it. We at Christmas time debuted it with our Christmas version. Okay, so we have a Christmas version and then we have a springtime version. And I thought it was time to remind you about how cute this journal is and why you might want it. I have a very specific and intentional journaling practice. And I sometimes get asked about it. It did not start easily for me. As much as I love to write and do different things, I took a class many years ago using Hal Elrod's book, The Miracle Morning. And he has a very specific structure that he recommends. And there's a lot of, I'll say, science behind many of the things that he does and why he does them. And I'm not going to get into all of that, but I found my own Miracle Morning practice. And it is sort of a combination of what he does. It's just that it fits me and fits my schedule and routine. So I have a real affinity for journals and for notebooks. And I'm going to show you just a couple of things. You know, I always thought that, did I have to have, the same journal or whatever? So over the years, I have, because I collect journals, notebooks kind of thing, right? So I have collected different journals where, and if they're lined, I'm using them for writing in. So I have been gifted, I know this was a gift, where it had a really pretty cover on it, and then I have filled the pages with my thoughts. I've got spiral bound books that, again, spiral bound that have a verse at the top of each page. And then I even have little notebooks that have blank pages, and I doodle in those. All right, so I have done all of that. I have tons of miscellaneous, nothing looks like anything else. And there's part of me that wants it to be even more organized. So I thought it would be great to have one journal cover. And when I saw what Leanne Anderson was doing at the Whole Country Caboodle, and she actually has the individual pattern that we sell, that you can do your own journal cover, and that pattern is included in the complete kit. But I liked the idea that I would then have one location that I could always put my notebooks. And in this particular case, a spiral bound, it flips underneath here. I'm not doing a very good job here of showing you this. It actually, the cover holds underneath this strap, and it fits just a very generic, easy to find notebook that you can then put in here. But I also always think of it as, this is my location to keep my journal. So even if there's something else that looks a little different inside, it's okay that this is my journal book. And I love Happy and Joy. Last fall, I did a little study on joy, and I love all of that stuff. So we had Leanne and Caitlin design this specific motif for us. It is, again, exclusive to us. You can buy it as a journal, as a doodle book. You can buy it as a mug rug kit, or you can actually just buy it, just the words, okay? Just the words. So if you said, hey, I've got a different idea of what I want to do with that word joy, you can actually, buy just the appliques. All of the appliques in whichever form you buy are all pre-fused and pre-cut. And let me tell you, it's the way to go. It's the way to go. So like this is $8 for the joy. So we have it in the Christmas version in all three. So like behind me, the Christmas Joy Journal, the mug rug is back here, and I've got the appliques as well. And when you buy the doodle kit, you even get a notebook in there. So you don't even have to go searching for that first one. You can get the doodle book right in there. So a book to journal in. So I love these kinds of things, and I wanted to just spend a few minutes this morning as to what the benefits are of journaling. And I constantly have notebooks, okay? And so I even have at work, I even have, let's see, my notes are falling out. I have, a simple journal. This one's showing the wear and tear of going in and out of my computer bag every day. But for writing things down, because for me, and this is one of the number one benefits of journaling, is it helps you stay organized. So if it is your to-do list, if it is your dream list of the projects you want to make, whatever that is that you're trying to stay organized, the grocery list, so you don't forget to pick up the lettuce when you go to the grocery store, whatever. I think that's one benefit. Emotional. I think there are many times when I'm journaling that it is an emotional release. It's sometimes an emotional celebration, but it can be very emotional because I allow myself to write down different things that I'm thinking about or needing to do or, feeling kind of thing. There's discipline. I love routines, and I love, I'm gonna say, being able to check the little box, even if it's not literally, but like for me, I walk out the door and I've already drank water. I've already done my yoga. I've already done my journaling. I've already done my devotions. I've already done this, and this. I love that I feel like I have completed tasks before the day has ever get started. It grounds me. It sets me on a good path. So because every day at Hen Chicks Studio can be different and wild and crazy. And so I always feel like I know I got a certain amount of things done that I feel good about, and it prepares me, in many ways, for that craziness that's ahead, okay? There is healing benefits to journaling. Sometimes we write things that we're not even aware of until we start writing about them, and it helps us to process them and get them out. I think it builds self-confidence, that number one, that I have the discipline to do something. And I could go back several years and tell you that I used to be an addict to Diet Pepsi. And it was always the joke of like, what, Diet Pepsi's in my hand. And I realized how disciplined I was that I could quit drinking Diet Pepsi without even a care. I was reading a book, Rachel Hollis, and it made me realize how important that discipline was, that if I don't say yes to myself and yes to the things that I want to do, then I'm breaking every promise. And there's all sorts of, I'll say, things behind that. But if I am strong enough to say no to Diet Pepsi, it's going to sound funny, then I'm strong enough to say yes to certain things and no to other things that are important in my life. And as simple or maybe funny as that sounds, it is amazing the strength it gives you when you realize that you have the discipline and the self-confidence to do those kinds of things. Journaling for me is very much about mindfulness, being aware of where I'm at, where my feelings are at, where things are at in my life, in my business, in other people's lives. There's always self-reflection. There is certainly a place to store ideas. I'm always coming up with different ideas. So journaling could be totally about, the things that you dream about doing or the ideas that you want to create. And of course, in some ways, journaling can help you achieve goals, because if you've written it down, it becomes more real than if I just think about it. So there's something, again, in that mindfulness of your ideas. Okay, so how do you start journaling, right? Okay, so you get the journal book, but what is it that helps you get started? And it really is so simple. So here's 5 simple things that I think you should do. Now, if you really want to get into understanding more about A Miracle Morning, by all means, read Hal Elrod's book or watch his movie. He is very much a motivational speaker. He's gone through some very tragic accidents, some health issues, but he has just a lot of motivation and inspiration for making your life better. So, but 5 ways to start journaling, right? Number 1, set a time. Okay, my alarm goes off at 5 a.m. and I love it. It's the quietest time in our house. It's the quietest time of the day. I get up every morning at 5 a.m. and I have, again, my very specific routine. So my routine starts actually with a 15-minute yoga practice. And I do the exact same yoga practice every day. And I can put a link into the video later. It is a free video online, Adriene, Yoga with Adriene. And it's the beginner's yoga. And I had frozen shoulders several years ago and did a ton of physical therapy. I hold the record for the longest patient at physical therapy, trying to get through it. And I need to keep those shoulders moving. And this particular practice is simple and but yet stretches my shoulders and my body in a way that I feel good starting the day. Okay. So then I sit down and I do my devotionals and all that. But you need to choose a journal, right? So grab your journal, get your doodle cover in your journal, have a book, whatever makes you feel good about that book. Then have a favorite pen. And I don't know about anybody else, but I have to say, I think our Hen Chick pens are pretty darn good and they're free. So the next time you stop in the store, get a pen. They're at the counter. You're welcome to take one. Make sure you have a pen. I also always keep these are those wax highlighters that are made for like Bible covering. And the girls gave them to me at Christmas one time, but I love them for highlighting in any of my books, whether it's my Bible or another book I'll show you. And then I do have my favorite doodling pens, and mine happens to be a Creative Memories dual tip pen that has both a thick and a thin. I've tried a variety of other ones. I keep going back because I keep saying to myself, because I have some of you like scissors or that kind of thing. I love pens. And so I have a variety of pens. And I keep thinking, oh, I don't need to go buy one of these. I'll just use something I have. And every time I use those, I keep coming back to this pen. I love this Creative Memories pen. And it comes in different colors. I sometimes use brown, but black is my favorite. Okay. And then you have to have a topic to journal about, right? So everybody is very different about this. Some people would have no problem opening up and just start gushing, right? Just start gushing out, write whatever you want. This is not for publication. This is not for your spouse or your partner to read. This is for you. This journal is for you. Other people use various things, which I do as well. So I brought along just a couple that I keep at my table. I love this particular one right now. This was a Christmas gift from my folks, and 365 Days of Kindness. Love things like that. This one, that's one of my journals. And sometimes the journals themselves come with verses in them. Sometimes there's books like Max, and I always say it wrong, Lucado. There's 365 days. And it's just opening the book and seeing what's on that particular day and using it. You could find quote books galore at gift shops. There's all sorts of places if you need some kind of an inspirational starter. And so that's something that you could start with. Again, everybody's got different ideas of what they would want to journal about, because maybe you start with a verse or a quote. maybe it's that goal. Maybe you're going to journal every day about a goal that you have. Maybe that's a goal as simple as I'm going to drink more water. Maybe it's a goal as I'm going to walk more. Maybe it's something like I would like to get this quilt done for a graduation gift. Or maybe it's I want to, make sure my garden is beautiful this summer, and you're planning out what your garden is going to be. Your journaling can be so many different things, and it doesn't have to be consistent as far as the topic every day. I always think it's important that you find what is important to you. All right, because it could just be thoughts about that day. And then the fifth way, so we've talked about setting a time, choosing a journal, your favorite pen, a topic. Now choose a location, a space. And everybody, again, is, you have to work with whatever is in your environment. I am very lucky that I have a specific table. I use that table for other things as well, but I do have it set up. I definitely am a believer that we need to drink more water, and that when you wake up in the morning, again, the studies show, and multiple people talk about this, including Hal Elrod, is that your body is already dehydrated from sleeping. And so drinking water. So my friend got me a gurgle pot, which is just, it makes me laugh every time. And it's this kind of fishy looking thing. And when you put water in and when you pour water out, it gurgles. And so I gotta love it, right? So I fill my gurgle pot up at night, and I have it sitting on my table with my glass. And I, of course, then pour my water into that. So the first thing I can do when I get up in the morning is make sure I drink, I think it's an 8-ounce glass, and I drink 2 glasses of water before I ever leave the bedroom. So that part, I definitely want to make sure that I am hydrated and that kind of thing. So I have that. I have some, I love some of the oils, the essential oils that are out these days. I'm currently using one from, it's called Essence One, I believe, and it's called Morning Calm. And all I do is take the lid off and let it sit there for a few minutes until I feel like the aroma is enough for me, and put the lid back on, but it sort of sets the stage. And then I sit down and have my time to do my devotions and to, as I like to say, see where God takes me. Because sometimes in the morning, I definitely believe that He brings to me what I need to be journaling about and talking about or reemphasizing in my life. And so I do that, do my writing, then I do my doodling, and then I actually send my doodles to a few of my family to share that with them. And that means a lot to me as well, to be able to share what I love to do. And then it's like, if I still have time, I might go for a walk. But some mornings that just doesn't work. And right now the girls and I are trying to walk after school kind of thing, but sometimes I would like to go for a walk as well, and then be ready to hit the floor running, get a good breakfast, and get to work, right? So all sorts of things, but journaling can really, for me, help me express my creativity. And I thought you might find it a little interesting and hopefully inspirational to inspire you to be more creative as well. So a little bit different kind of viewpoint this morning, but that is all of what I would love to have you do with your doodle book. And so certainly I hope that you'll find it interesting and want to grab one of these. Again, there's also a Christmas one where I have it set right down back here. And the Christmas one could be great for making Christmas lists, putting things in there that you want, Christmas memories, that kind of thing. So there's a lot of different ways to use those notebooks. So I don't see any questions this morning, but if you do have any questions, and Dorothy, thank you that my doodle art, she likes my doodle art. Wonderful. Thank you. And yes, my shirt kind of looks like some doodle art. It does. So I hope that you all have a very great Wednesday today. Remember, next Wednesday will be at a different time in the day. I'll text out before we get to that. And of course, if you miss it, if you're not watching this live today and you miss it because you're at work or those kinds of things, you'll always find the replays on our live shopping page on our website. We also put them on YouTube and a few other places. So until the next time, be creative.